That was experience was coming down on top of him and landing on him and saying, wow, God makes the most sense of my life.
But I think there's an inherent bias that he's about to die.
So what's
Okay.
biased about that?
He's about to die. So
Yeah, it's going to happen to all of us. We're all going to die.
Of course, of course.
So what's biased about that?
He,
It's reality,
he
right?
fears-
This man's going to die, I'm going to die.
He fears the loss of connection of life.
Yeah.
And so then he must ascertain there must be a reason, because there's the fear of him.
No, he didn't say wish fulfillment. That's Freudian. Steve Jobs was immensely logical and razor sharp with his intellect. He simply said, it doesn't make sense after all of this work and all these relationships and all that I've accumulated here on Earth just to end up stopping. He didn't say, I really want to see my family again and I really want to finish that the project I had at Apple. He didn't say any of that. He said that this, in my experience, is really speaking to me. So it wasn't wish fulfillment, it wasn't a fear of death that he had.
Now, we're all going to die, obviously. So I hope we're going to ask, is there any evidence, not proof, is there any evidence that there's life after death? Jesus died on a cross, was buried, 3 days later, rose from the dead. Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live, even though he dies.
And there's a great bias to not believing in God too on your deathbed. It's wow, there's no judgment day. Whatever I did, there's no moral accountability. This is great. I'm not going to believe in God. This is awesome. See, a lot of people have that as well.
Is there a creative mechanism anywhere in evolution? Nope. Radiation adaptation? Chance mutations, natural selection? Yep. Lots of that. But is there a creative mechanism in evolution? No. That is why it is far more reasonable to say, in the beginning God, than it is to say, in the beginning matter and energy. Because there's no creative mechanism in evolution. Chance mutations, natural selection, yes, lots of it. Creative mechanism? Nope. Is it reasonable to believe that existence comes from non-existence? Nope.
I don't know if I agree with the creative mechanism questions.
All right, what's the creative mechanism in
I don't
evolution?
understand how that pertains to, like, how would we make sense that God is creative? But what does that even mean? I don't know.
It means it's more reasonable to believe that something comes from someone than it is to believe that something comes from nothing, especially in the light of the fact that there's no creative mechanism anywhere in evolution. Lots of adaptation, lots of mutation of what already exists and what already is alive.
How can we say God has this human concept of creativity? But if it's like something we can't even imagine to understand, like why should he be put, like, need these limits to do anything in this be creative in nature or whatever you say? I don't know.
All right, before we go on, I want to thank you. It's an honor talking with you.
It is an honor.
And I like the way we met. You dancing out here, that's just fine. You don't need to apologize to me for that. That's just fine. But the way you think, I like. You're reasonable, you're logical, and I think that's outstanding, and I respect you highly for that, okay?